What if I told you that we can go play a game? We're going to go play against some kids, somebody that's way smaller than us, way younger than us. And no matter what we do and what rules we play by, we're going to lose 100% of the time. How many of you all would sign up for that? Exactly. My point is exactly nobody. So my question is, why you still in the streets? Nobody never beat the streets. You either gonna die, go to jail, or you gonna go ahead and become that old head that's gonna be telling all the young dudes about what you used to do in life and what you used to have. What up, though? Good morning. Welcome to the Pick Your Side podcast. And today's episode, we talking about being in the streets. You gonna keep picking the streets, or you gonna do something positive with your life? Being in the streets is just a choice. We all have choices, and you're not born to be in the streets. You may have been born in the projects. That's probably where you're from. That's probably where your family lived at all your life. But it's a choice to be able, it's a choice to decide to get in the streets, to live that lifestyle. Me and my little brother, same mama, same daddy, same struggles. We went through the same things, lived in the same household, was exposed to the same things. We seen the same things, but he never did anything street related. Not once. I chose to get in the streets. I knew what came with the streets. Nobody forced me to do it. I remember at a young age, I seen what the streets would do to you. I'm only in Tennessee right now because my daddy got shot 5 times by the dude that he was trapping for because he didn't want to pay him the money. And I think it was $10K. And he sent some dudes to kill him, got hit up 5 times. Luckily, the last shot, the gun jam, he didn't get killed. So I remember at 9 years old, 9 or 10 years old, going to the hospital, seeing my daddy with bullet holes in him, and we just praying that he make it out. And he made it out, thank God. I remember times when we was all chilling on the porch, and we see the boys hop out, and they arrest all the adults in the house, and we had to walk down the street to my uncle and them house. I grew up around it. I seen people go to jail for a long time. I seen people get killed. I got family members that got killed in the streets. I got crackheads in my family. I got people that made a lot of money in the streets and all that, but they never won. So it's a choice, and we decided to get into that. So we got to stop acting like we was forced to get into it. Even with me seeing all that, I decided to jump in the game. And the reason why we jumped in the streets is because, one, for the money. And then we want the attention, the status. And then we young and we wanted the women. I seen when my uncle and them will pull up in the new whips and all that. And they had something cold in the passenger seat. As a young boy, you wanted money to do what you wanted to do when you wanted to do it, especially when you come from nothing. And we think, especially when you young, you think that the older people have a lot of money and they have a lot of things going for them. And then just with the attention around it. Like the other people people that's in the street, they get praised by the older people that every shouting them out because they coming around, dropping a bag off, or may buy them some groceries. I don't know exactly the reason, but they made them seem cool. They made the working man seem lame, and they wasn't doing you going to work 9 to 5, you gotta wait every 2 weeks to get your job, to get your paycheck, to have money. But man, as a young kid, why do you think somebody will pick the streets over somebody working their 9 to 5? It's simple. Because everybody's glorifying them and everybody's praising them. But once you get older and you start making some money in the streets, or you start thinking like, oh, this is the way that I want to go, you realize you're not really making no money. I remember it was times that we would hit the road and we would count up 20,000 or however 10,000, and in the process of us making the money, we done went shopping, we done went to the club, bought bottles, we done did whatever. I done lost the money in the dice game, and I'm back on the road, risking my life, doing 16-hour road trips, 8 hours to the crib, 8 hours back to where I was at, and I only have $500 in my pocket. And I'd be like, man, I'd rather make some money at a job because I ain't risking my life and all that. When you do get in the streets, you think you're going to get the money, the status, the attention, the women, and you may get some of that. But what you're really picking up is paranoia. You constantly looking around your shoulders. You constantly thinking, is somebody gonna slide on me today, or somebody gonna set me up? And then you're gonna get the fake love. You don't know if these women want you because of you or because of the money or what you can offer them. Your homies start changing up on you, and then you're gonna get enemies. People want to rob you because of what you got or what they think you have. And then you're gonna just end in jail. Well, and then the game ends with you either going to jail or you dying, or like I said, you becoming that old head. Man, I've been through so much stuff through my own in my life when I decided to be in the streets. I remember one time my cousin kicked my door in to try to get some pills that we had in the crib. I had family members steal from me. I had people plot and attempt to rob me. I've been robbed twice. Once as a child, when I was in 8th grade, they ran into the crib, and 3 dudes, they had guns. They put my brother and my mama on the couch, put blankets over their head, and told me to get the money. My little brother upstairs, I'm praying that he don't wake up so they don't start shooting. We made it out, thank God, but there's a lot of stories where people didn't make it out. I had homies try to set me up and all that. Thank God I had some other homies that was solid and just vouched for me and all that. But man, I was robbed, shooting dice, all that, man. And it's just like, who want to keep living like that? I seen people go to jail for a long time. Thank God that I never got pulled over and went to jail. I remember we was in a car and the police get behind us and they thinking we getting flicked. And my homie or my cousin, one of them, I don't remember who, put the pills under the seat and try to be secretive about it. But I seen them put the pills under the seat, so if we did get pulled over, it'd be mine. It was no loyalty out there, dog. And then once you tell somebody no, or you just tell somebody no, then their true colors gonna come out. That's when the envy gonna kick in. And as a street dude, you'd be thinking you so smart. I'm gonna move out to the suburbs and all this, and I just come out in the hood and trap and all that, make my money and go over there. You only told 2-3 people where you stay at, and your spot get broken into. And you think it's random? Nah, dog, it's somebody that know you or comfortable around and that you told. The ones that dropped your location so you can be set up and robbed. But we want to act like that stuff don't happen. I done seen people who got childhood pictures with each other, set each other up, rob and kill, and rest in peace, roll up. So when we in the streets and all that, and we want to justify it, we try to pretend like it ain't what it is. But I mean, there ain't no winners in this game, dog. There's no morals in the streets. And I also need to add that we think we so solid and everybody's so solid. 8 out of 10 of the dudes that you running with and that you rocking with, when they start giving out them football numbers, they gonna tell on you. And you may justify it because they might not just directly point at you like you did it, but it'd be a lot of snitching going on. So why put yourself in that position where your main man's gonna tell on you? And then you go do 40 and 50 years, man, ain't nobody gonna sit here and just be waiting on you. Initially, they're gonna be able to help you out. They're gonna be able to send you money. They're gonna be able to come make them visits, but you gotta realize, we still out here living life. We still got bills. We still got responsibilities. We still got things that we gotta take care of out here. And then especially if you was the breadwinner, your homies ain't really had no money when you was out here. So what makes you think they finna have money so they can send you money? And then you leave your kids here for another man or another woman or the government to raise your kids. You hurt your mama. The first person you gonna call when things go down or when you get locked up is your mama. She gonna be riding them years with you. That stress gonna be on her because she gonna be praying every night that you make it back home. So what made me just give up the streets is simple, man. It was, the first thing was family. I was ready for whatever happened to me. I was ready to take it wherever I need to take it to a certain extent. But I didn't want anybody that I love to be impacted by the decisions I was making in the street. I didn't want nobody to run into my crib and do something to my mama, my daddy, my brothers, or my nephew or niece or anybody. Or I didn't want to be riding around with somebody and somebody wanted to rob me and they fall victim to something that I was doing out here. Because when we get in the streets, we not putting ourselves in risk, we putting everybody else around us. If you riding around in a whip and you done did something to somebody, you think they gonna sit there and be like, oh, hold on, wait, time out, we not gonna do nothing because they in a car with so-and-so, and they don't have nothing to do with this. You can lie to yourself and say it's morals in the streets. It's not. The second thing, man, is because of peace. I got tired of looking over my shoulders, like just wondering if this was the day that somebody was gonna rob me again and eventually pull that trigger and take me out of here, or if I was gonna get pulled over on the road and end up getting locked up and getting some time because we traveling out of state with a bunch of stuff, and just like, man, just constantly just in a state of paranoia. And then, man, I have a good heart, and when I was in the streets, I used to say things like, man, I'm doing good, I'm going to school, I'm volunteering at the church, I'm helping people and all that. But man, I was really tearing people down now, and I was tired of living both sides. Doing good, I don't care how much good you do in the streets, you still tearing your people down. I remember my cousin, before he kicked our door in, how high he was and what that changed and turned him into. And he ended up losing his battle because of drugs and all that. And then just, I'm in college, and the reason I stayed in college because I met some dudes that took pills, and I'm just sitting in the classroom. One of them come, my boy Sam. I didn't know he took the pills initially. I just thought he was middleman, and I was middlemaning. But I seen his whole personality change when he took that pill, and that was just like, man, I gotta stop selling pills. But I didn't eventually give it up, the whole game up. I just gave up that part of it. I was done selling pills. I was done tearing my people down. And so that just leads me to my last point. I understand why you don't want to leave. I understand why you still in the streets and why you still want to do the things that you want to do. Maybe you done caught the charges and you feel like life threw you a bad hand. Remember, like I said at the beginning, you made that choice, and the choices that you made end up to you becoming a felon. But that's not an excuse of why you still in the streets. Firsthand what it feel like to go to jail and what it feel like to do some time. But it's a lot of felons out here that's making money legally now. They didn't even went and became a truck driver. Some of them became pastors. Some of them working at a warehouse and making legal money and living a good life. And then when you so used to making that fast money, it's hard for you to wait every 2 weeks to get paid or every week to get paid when you getting money each and every day. But you got apps like Uber, where I'm doing right now, I'm driving, that you can make money daily. You can do DoorDash or whatever. You can start your own business where you're making money every day. So making fast money isn't an excuse. You can make fast money doing something legal. And then just like the fear of acceptance, I remember when I decided to fully give it up, and my cousins and people that I used to hang around, they used to say stuff like, you corny and this and that. I remember when my cousins came up here to visit, not me, but my brother. They never came up here. Well, one of them came up here to see me once while I was in school and all that. And that was because I was buying some weed, and he was getting some weed from me. And so he came and chilled with us for the weekend, and I appreciated that. My cousins, they good people. They just made a decision that they wanted to still be in the street. Long story short, they called me. We was chilling, drinking, and one of them was like, man, you corny. And they're like, bro, you corny. I remember we used to be out here running around, getting money. You had the respect and this and that. And all you want to do now is just work and this and that, take care of your family. And sad to say, one of my cousins got 17 years and the other one got 8 years. So it's cool to be corny. It's cool to lead them people along. If they can't respect you because you want to live a positive life, you ain't got to hate them. You ain't got to talk bad on them. I still love my cousins and all that. But I know I ain't want to live that life, so I had to distance myself from them. It's all love. I see them. What's up? Pull up. We can kick it and all that. But I'm no longer a part of that. I no longer want to live that lifestyle, and I'm not. And nobody going to convince me or try to talk me into it or make me do something that I don't want to do. So the earlier you can avoid getting in the streets, or the earlier you can exit the streets, it's going to be better for you. I'm telling you, the outcome is death or jail or becoming that old head that's just telling. I remember back in the day when I was young blood, that I used to have the girls, man, I used to have the whips, I used to have the money, whatever. Hey, by the way, you think you give me a ride around the corner? That street life, it seemed good, but man, it ain't. A lot of people out there ain't making a lot of money. They try to make you feel bad for struggling, working for somebody else, but then they be the same ones calling you from jail talking about, man, I just got a job in the kitchen. Bro, you make 50 cents an hour. Cut it out. So I say all that to say, pick your side. You gonna be a street dude, or you gonna be a stand-up guy? Go work you a job, go start you a business, go get you a trade, and be here to take care of your responsibility, to take care of your wife, your kids, your family, your mama, and your daddy, and just live a great life. The choice is yours. Pick your side. But have a good day. Be blessed.